Hey, 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 what is up, Elm World? I am super, super, super excited for what we have today. It's me, Tiff, and
Hi, welcome.
welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are new in effective leadership in a modern world, this is our pillar content for you. This is what we bring to you every single Monday. It's our leadership live stream where we touch on leadership principles, we touch on marketing, social media, and we just want to provide the best value possible in this particular live video. This is one that you can count on each and every week to get what you're looking for. So if you are excited about hearing what we have today to offer you, go ahead and put "I'm excited" in the comment section right now, because today is going to be amazing. I launched the Inner Circle along and brought Tig in a couple of months ago, and we've been working with a core audience. And the Inner Circle is basically the paid program. So what you're seeing now is the public Facebook group where we give as much free value as possible. But obviously, there is a next level, and that next level is a paid program called our Inner Circle. And if you're interested in that, we're going to make an announcement at the end of this call about that. But this is really special because this is one of our client success stories. And the thing that's amazing about creating a program that we get to empower leaders all over the world to do what they do is that they do it. And I think that is like the most rewarding part, is when is the effective leadership in a modern world is really all about being a platform for leaders around the world who are passionate, who have a mission, who have a vision, who have a purpose, and they're just looking for the right tools, and they're looking for a mastermind that they can learn from. And so we have one of our success stories here, 20 days into the Inner Circle. She's generated 20,000 in revenue and counting. And she's on her way to building an amazing leadership organization. And I'll have her tell a little bit more about who she is and what she does. And get your pen and notepad ready. Go ahead and put "I'm excited" in the comment section if you want to hear about this. So welcome, Heather.
Welcome.
Hi, Tiff. Hi, Tig. I'm Heather Aquino, and I'm a motion designer, which means I just make commercials and advertising. And I'm an art director, and I'm a part of, I co-created this group called Ladies in MoGraph. And I recently went freelance, which was super, super duper scary, but so I'm free lanced, not free. That's terrible.
You're charging for your free services. so this is incredible. I want to get into your story, but I also just want to tee up. For a lot of people that are watching right now, $20,000 in 20 days sounds like a lot. For some people, it doesn't. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's their average. But for you to basically 3 or 4x your normal income in really your first initial time of leaving your corporate job and working for yourself, being an entrepreneur, it's quite a great success. Usually people have to work a little bit longer and a little bit harder to achieve that sort of return as they step into entrepreneurship. So before we get into that, like what caused you to tell us a little bit more about where you were prior to joining Elmworld, mentally and emotionally, and what you were looking to get out of it?
So mentally and emotionally, I was in this place where it was very a kind of scarcity mindset of like, I'm not gonna do this because I need to keep doing all these things that will because I'm not, there's not enough. So there was just this idea that like I'm not going to get paid on time. This is just me pre freelance. And so this complete scared, very scared and judgmental kind of perception I had on like owning your schedule and owning the time that you get to have when you are freelance. So what happened for me is once I started taking the course is there's this really wonderful part of it where you have to do your declaration. That declaration was mostly related to like what my 6-month goal and when your goal is. And I think the whole idea of me just declaring that I was going to make X amount of money, like I was able to also just raise my rate as like a freelancer, but then also just go freelance in general, because that's just so scary. And that was an amazing opportunity for me to just be like, oh, okay, I guess we'll see what happens. And then all of a sudden it just ended up working out really well. And I was like, wow, this abundant kind of mentality. And then also like declaring it, and then all of a sudden all these like little ducks in your row kind of like started to happen for me. And it was just really incredible to see that happen for me. So
yeah, before you came into Elmworld, did you know right away that Elmworld was the thing for you, that it was the vehicle for you? And if not, what was it that had you take that leap?
I don't know if you know, Tiff is my girlfriend. So I was talking to her about my want and need to create a leadership program specifically for women of color, trans, non-conforming, like people that are not represented in my industry. So I was like, can you help me? And she's like, no, you should just like take my course. And I was like, okay, sure. And, at first I was like, I don't know, should I be working with like my girlfriend? I don't know if that's cool or not. And so I did. And I think what was awesome is that once you were also introduced into this program, Tig, like you guys were able to like, if there were like coaching stuff, you're coaching me. And so that was really cool to like, to have that balance of like being in the crux of like the relationship stuff, but then also like have somebody else with an outside perspective really give you feedback. And so, yeah, it was pretty weird at first because I was like, I don't know. I already see this person every day, but
Yeah. So I just want to lay this out for people so that they kind of get it. A lot of the people in the group are leaders who want to grow big organizations. And for you, you wanted to grow a big organization that supported leaders in the motion design industry.
yes.
And you wanted to empower and uplift those people. One of the steps to doing that was going freelance so that you had more control over your time,
yes.
your resources, and you could actually step into the roles that you felt like you were meant to actually be in, like in leadership roles that felt right for you. One of the steps to doing that was making sure that you had enough to earn enough money for not only to support yourself, but to support your filmmaking and to support the leadership aspects in the organization. So just to clarify for everybody, like the money conversation was the biggest blockage, and it's also one of the biggest blockages for the people that you want to serve. Women or marginalized people in the community have a hard time asking for more money. And so the greatest way to achieve something like 20,000 in 20 days is not to do more work. And I want you to kind of speak on that because you worked a lot prior that, and yes, you earned 3 times less, right? It was actually about raising your price and knowing that you could fulfill that. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course. I think so. I had a staff job and I was an art director, and I'm still am, but the money I would make at my staff job wasn't enough. So I'd also still take freelance jobs after, like, at night and weekends sometimes. And that still wasn't the same amount. And that's sad when I really think about it. And what truly happened is, like, I literally doubled what my rate would be. So it was just crazy to think that I didn't realize how much self-worth issues I was having with money. And then realizing that people will pay you because they see the value in the work that you've created, and showing up and posting and being vulnerable about, like, hey, I'm going to do this, and people support you, has been what's been really awesome about just being a part of the Elmworld community. So it was hard, but it was awesome to really look at myself and be like, I can do this. I mean, I still have imposter syndrome, but I did it, and I'm getting paid like 3-4 times the amount and for half the work. It's wild to me.
Yeah, what do you attribute to the program itself, to Elmworld, that got you from this conversation of, I don't know if I can do it and make it work financially, to making 20,000 in 20 days, which I remember from your declaration, you said by December, I want to be making 20,000 a month, right? And you've done that in 20 days, which is extraordinary. What do you attribute to the program that allowed you to make such a huge leap?
I think one was the money conversation, where I think the idea that, like, I just declared, like, I'm gonna do it and see what happens. Like, I took my shot and I was just like, I'm just gonna see. And when I did that, I was able to, like, it's because that's one of the lessons in Elmworld is the declaration. And then a lot of the coaching that we do, Tig, is really wonderful because it really analyzes the kind of judgments that stop you from going forward. Like, why don't we take these risks? Why don't we, like, go forward and do all these, like, amazing things that are contributing to not only your self-worth, but, like, financially will make you a better person. So, like, there's so much value that I've gotten just from a personal development kind of thing. And I don't think I would have had these hard conversations within myself if I didn't have this program to kind of facilitate, like, real action oriented steps to get there. Like, right. my career is different from people in the program, I feel like, but because it's still, like, owning your life kind of mentality, is that it helped me get to this place.
Yeah, I feel like we have so many people out there who can relate to this. If you can relate to this, go ahead and put judgment in the comments. If self-judgment or self-doubt gets in the way of you moving forward in your life and in your business, go ahead and put judgment in the comments, because I know there's so many of you out there who can relate to this conversation.
Yeah, it's amazing to hear this now, Heather. And I know that I keep going backwards, but I want to share with people, like, the shift that you had to make. If there was a moment that you could think back to, you know, because Tig has worked with you in your personal life, and, like, you have these accountability measures within the inner circle. You also have a great mastermind, all included in the program. But there had to be, I'm going to just assume, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but there had to be some sort of a moment where you decided that this was worth pursuing. Like, the coaching was worth waking up for. The program was worth turning on, you know, like the mastermind was worth joining. Like, those are just symptoms. Those are kind of just symptoms of you deciding that this was for you. Is there a moment like that for you?
I mean, the switch was, okay, I'm gonna be really honest what the switch was. The fact that I had to pay for a program I know that sounds like so, but it's true. It's like you're paying for something that has value in it, and if you're not going to show up, like, I do, like, and it's an amount that, like, I feel like has enough value to just keep going. It's not, I don't know if that's too honest.
Oh,
I don't think so. I don't think so at all. And I actually think this is really important to highlight because you've already highlighted that you're Tiff's girlfriend, but I want to make sure that people know Heather paid full price for this program. She didn't get a discount. She didn't get a deal. She didn't get in for free because of the connection. Heather paid full price to participate in this program. And so I think that's really important to highlight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I definitely did.
And that's it. And I'm just going to speak to the person who, like, is the founder of the program. I had to believe that my product was worth enough, that we were offering enough that I won't discount. And Tig was one of those people that helped me see that you should not discount your program. You shouldn't discount your rate. You shouldn't discount your product. If anything, you should double it and quadruple it and more. And the biggest misconception to offering value is offering it for no money and just hoping people would, opt into it. And so the reason why this conversation is so important is because not that money is everything, but what it is an exchange of energy. And when you're working towards something that then you can receive money, and then you can contribute that back into the economy. And we're speaking into an economy right now that's really, really shaky. And for Heather and I to live in the same house and to be thriving, and for us to be 3xing and 4xing our income at a time where people are losing our jobs, it just is like, what, and what had to happen for that to happen. And so, I'm really grateful that you decided to pay full price, and I wouldn't have let you in otherwise, but you made that decision that it was worth something to you. So other than like raising that price point, now that you have embodied this new journey, new entrepreneurial journey, also creating your organization, what do you feel like is next for you?
Yeah, so there's a lot of things I personally want to develop as a filmmaker and a leader, but through Elmworld, I really want to continue to create a course for these leaders that I want to empower. So a lot of that is going to be going through the program and finishing all those parts of it so that I can create. I'm not gonna tell people necessarily what it is, like the course stuff, but it's just really, I just need to do it, and I'm super excited to see where that goes, because already from having conversations with women in my original group, Ladies Demograph, people are really, really want it already, just in general. And so I want to hold myself accountable to continue to make it happen, even if it doesn't look perfect or look like anything. So that's what I'm going to be doing next.
Awesome.
Right on. This is really exciting. And I'm really excited about your story in particular, because you do fall only slightly outside of our core focus at Elmworld. But this goes to show that leadership is a concept, prosperity is a concept, accountability is a concept that is necessary for anyone to become successful. And I'm really excited for what's next for you. What do you feel like, if someone's watching right now and they're in that spot that you were right before you decided to go freelance, like right before you actually sent in that letter that said, I'm not working here anymore, I'm going freelance, like what kind of advice would you tell that person?
I would tell them that Although this is an incredibly tough time, and it's okay to be vulnerable and take risks in your life in order to find what is connected to what your dreams are. Like my dreams are to be, be a filmmaker and create films that are representing people that are you don't see every day. And how else are we going to do that if you don't take huge risk and and live in the idea of abundance? So that would be my advice.
Yeah, I love this conversation. I love this conversation about abundance because one thing that we really do with Inner Circle is we work with our members to give them the confidence to be able to step up and say, my services are worth something, right? And this is, like Tiff said, this is a conversation that I had with her a lot in developing Elm World, because it's that payment for a program, it's that exchange of monetary energy that actually gives us as leaders the permission to work with people at a higher level, right? Because you can post on Facebook, you can write your inspirational stories on Facebook, you can put your videos and people can read what you post, they can watch your videos, they can laugh at your memes. But the reality is, until they make that monetary exchange, they've not given you permission to engage with them at a higher level and to go deeper with them in terms of being in service to them. So I love this conversation about abundance. I love to see how, like you're saying your next step is to finish the program and get through to the end. And you've already gained prosperity in the first 20 days that you were hoping to get by the end. I mean, that's extraordinary, right?
Yeah.
That in and of itself talks to the amount of confidence and the worth that you've been able to step into just by being in the conversation of what we talk about in the Inner Circle.
Yeah, it's so incredibly powerful, and to have you say it in such a amazing way like that, I'm like, yeah, totally, it's great.
Well, I think what Heather told me last night was she's about 3 modules into our program. And no, but I think that's a great thing to highlight, because here's the thing, you guys, is that the program is not just going through a bunch of steps. There's a mastermind element, a contribution element. We're only looking for leaders that are going to contribute. And here's the thing, y'all, is that I spent most of my life earning about $6,000 to $10,000 a month for the past, let's say, really 5 years. Before that, it was 3,000 or 1,000, and like different streams of income and things like that. And the level of, I guess, the frequency in which people are able to see possibilities and contribute to their community is directly related to how much they feel like what they bring is worth something, and also who they are is worth something, even without the money, right? And so the proximity, I feel like, has been the biggest lesson for me. Like the proximity, the closer you are to people who are earning 20, 40, 50, 100, 200, $500,000 a month, the closer you are to that being real for yourself. And so Heather is one of the examples that she basically duplicated me. A month prior, it was like I made 30,000, and then she came up right behind me. And then who knows what she's gonna, and then like other people in our inner circle are connected to that. So there are ways for us to bring our community together. And one of the things, Ty, that I want to say before I pass it over to you is that I work for someone who owns a whole bunch of commercial properties to learn from him. And he owns about 40 properties across the country and or more in cash, and they're all worth millions each. And the thing that I did for him today was go through a stack of mail that came in just from this weekend, and he does this every Monday, of donations that he makes to other organizations, and how that is such I realized is such a strong pillar of leadership and wealth and prosperity, that wealthy people make contributions. Wealthy people make donations, not as an extra, but as it's actually a priority for them. So it was a stack this big of donations, just thank you for your donation. And then we're going to send out another one, and we're going to send out another one, and we're going to send out another one. Being in the intimate space of someone, of people who prioritize contribution as a reason to wake up every day, a whole different frequency.
Totally. And what I was going to say is right in line with that. I had a really interesting experience where, in my own personal business, my mission in life is to elevate the voices of transformational coaches and trainers and get their work out into the world in a big way. And I was speaking with someone who's really interested in my program yesterday. And, she's been asking me about the program, asking me what it takes to get in, because it's by application only. And, I explained to her, I said, our mission, our stated outcome is to get these leaders by the end of this 6 to 9 month program, that these leaders walk away with a minimum of $100K a month business. And she said, oh, no, that's not for me. And I said, why would you say that? That's interesting. It's interesting that you say you want to do this, but then when it comes to making money do this, you're not attracted to that. And she said, that just feels way too financially focused to me. And I said, it's not that we're financially focused and that's what we put our sights on, but we understand that money is the representation of impact. And we are only interested in working with leaders who have huge impact in the world, who can take what they do, take it out into the world in a huge impactful way. And we understand that the representation of that is that monetary energy flow back. And it's amazing to be able to be in that space, to understand that flow is energetic, right? And to be in that flow, and like you say, Tiff, the space that it puts us in to be able to be in contribution to our family, to our community, to the world, and the way that we give back, it can't even compare.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. If you're a leader who's watching right now who's like, money's not important to me, you're in the wrong group, my friend. Like, you're in the wrong group. You gotta find another group to join if that's not important to you. And the reason why we're talking so much about this is because of the specific result, but it's what it means. So for example, we are relaunching our program, and it is an enhanced program with an enhanced price to support the kind of breakthroughs that Heather is having and other people in our group is having. And so if that's something that's interesting to you, watch out this week. We're going to be posting an announcement, and we're going to be doing something really special for this new relaunch, as Tig and I are coming together and we're putting our superpowers together to close the gaps on our weaknesses so that we can provide one of the most unique organizational growing programs in the world. This is about a platform that uplifts leaders to become the leader that they truly are, to have the life that they truly want, fulfillment, connection, joy, love, peace, contribution. All of those things are super important to us. And so with the many years of experience that Tig has, and the many years of experience that I have in organizational growth and more, we're basically putting together this hybrid mastermind program that we want 20,000 to be the baseline that you raise your income to. That's just the beginning of what is possible for you. We live and teach in the law of abundance. So if this is something that's interesting to you, go ahead and put "I'm interested" in the comment section, and we'll have one of our specialists reach out to you so that you can learn a little bit more and be on the front end of that. So Heather.
Yes.
Is there anything else that you would like to share with people who are just like itching and waiting to have the sort of breakthroughs that you've been able to have?
I actually wanted to bring it back to one thing that you both asked me earlier, like what was one of the things that like this a step that gave me to do it. Like I actually I haven't been on Facebook for like almost 7 years. But because I really wanted to take this program and it's a part of it, I got back on and it was the most resisting like thing. And that's how much I wanted to be a part of this. So, you know, you have to pick and choose your battles. And this was it was a battle that I was like, I wanted to just trust and be in the lesson, the learner kind of field of thinking. And so I did that, and I'm really grateful that I did.
Beautiful. Thank you, Heather. And all of you watching right now, there's a ton of you watching. Go ahead and put any questions, insights, the biggest insights you had out of this conversation. Put, I'm interested, if you're interested in joining Gloria, who's just joined us last week in the inner circle, and communicate with us. The way that we gather material to share with you is simply by asking you. Right. So what we do in our program, and we're not going to tell you everything, but we teach people how to take the spotlight from them and shine the spotlight on the person you're serving so that they can have the best possible experience. And that's what we do with you. We want to hear from you. Ty, is there anything else?
Yes. Yeah. So we not only take the spotlight off your business and shine it on the ideal client who you're committed to serving, but we also take the spotlight and shine it on your life, because we truly believe that in order to become a leader in business, you first get to become a leader in your own life, a leader in your family, a leader in your community, a leader in your life for you, the way that you wake up and you feel about yourself and you feel about your life. We truly believe that business is holistic, and the way that you show up in life translates to the way that you show up in business. So we have a network of support. We've grown our team. Our team has doubled since we last took people on, and we continue to grow that team and grow that network of support to make sure that our people win, because that's what we're in it for. We're in it to see you guys win.
Yes. So look out for what's coming out today. Pay attention to what's happening here for this week. We're going to be making some really exciting announcements for you all to have the opportunity to work with us. So we'll see what happens. With that, I'd just like to thank all of you. Elm World, you are what makes this special. You are why we're here, why we show up every single Monday to this call so that we can be with you. So thank you. Thank you, Heather. Thanks, Ty.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon.